History isn't just dates and wars. It's a cabinet of curiosities filled with practices and beliefs that would shock modern sensibilities. We unearth the strangest chapters of human history, one disturbing or delightful fact at a time, and leave the judgment to you. Welcome to Historical Facts. Disturbing or delightful? You decide.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So, real question. Have you ever wondered if Bigfoot is actually real? Like, is he a myth, a misidentified animal, or some creature just casually hiding out in plain sight? Today we're heading deep into the woods of Bigfoot lore, science, and a few believer stories to ask the big question. Is Bigfoot's mystery a disturbing fact, or a delightful possibility? You decide. All right, let's start where all good mysteries begin, the legends. Bigfoot, or Sasquatch as he's also known, shows up in indigenous stories across North America long before newspapers or frontiersmen ever got involved. Tribes told stories of forest beings, hairy men or forest guardians, protectors of the wild. Later, those tales merged with frontier folklore and newspaper reports, creating the Bigfoot we know today. Some say the legend represents nature's wildness, or maybe our fear of the unknown. It's like the boundary between civilization and wilderness, and maybe a little of both. But here's the first big question for you. If a creature like Bigfoot really existed, why hasn't anyone ever found a body? Now let's talk about the evidence believers love to point to. First up, footprints, massive ones, 15, 20 inches long, sometimes with little ridge patterns, almost like fingerprints. Then there are eyewitness reports, thousands of them, describing a tall, upright, hairy figure, usually spotted for a few seconds in the woods before it's gone. And of course, the videos. The most famous? The Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967. We'll talk more about that later. Believers also bring up hair samples or mystery DNA, but when they're tested, usually it's bear, deer, or human. Still, Bigfoot enthusiasts argue that the sheer number of reports, tracks, and samples, even if not perfect, means something out there doesn't quite add up. Now let's switch gears to the science side. Scientists love data. They want bones, fossils, DNA, not just footprints and campfire stories. So here's what they say. No confirmed skeletons, no teeth, no carcasses that have ever survived serious scrutiny. A lot of footprint casts have been proven hoaxes, and DNA results always lead back to something we already know. Experts in zoology and primatology call the evidence weak. They say there's no plausible biological story that explains how a giant primate could stay hidden this long. So yeah, science is still waiting on something solid. But let's play the what-if game for a second. Let's say Bigfoot is real. How would it even work? He'd need a breeding population, not just one hairy dude wandering around. That means a few groups scattered in super remote forests. He'd probably be omnivorous, roots, berries, maybe a fish dinner or two. He'd have to survive harsh winters, so thick fur and strong limbs make sense. DNA-wise, if someone actually found a clean sample, scientists could run it and find out whether it's something known or completely new. But contamination makes that really hard, and honestly, if Bigfoot is that stealthy, he's probably not dropping hair samples all over the place. Now, onto the people who live for this stuff. There are full-time Bigfoot investigators who spend nights in the woods, setting up trail cameras, recording wood knocks, and listening for howls in the dark. Some say they've seen family groups of Bigfoot, adults, smaller ones, glowing eyes, even coordinated movement through trees. Others analyze broken branches, disturbed vegetation, or what they swear are nests. Of course, a lot of these stories later get debunked, like one in Virginia that turned out to be a prank. But still, people keep searching. So let's look at both sides. For belief, there are tons of consistent sightings over decades. The wilderness is huge, it could hide something. And humans do keep discovering new species. Against it, no solid physical proof. DNA results always trace back to known animals, and the odds of a large primate staying hidden for centuries? Pretty slim. Now a few questions for you. If you saw a tall, hairy figure in the woods at night, would you be able to tell if it was a bear or Bigfoot? Do you think footprints and audio are enough evidence? And if someone showed you a perfect DNA sample proving something unknown, would that finally convince you? Or would you still think, nah, it's just a story? Okay, let's talk about the most controversial Bigfoot sighting ever filmed. In 1967, in Bluff Creek, California, Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin captured that now famous footage, the Patterson-Gimlin film. It shows a big, upright, hairy figure walking across a creek bed. And for decades, experts have torn that thing apart frame by frame. Some say you can see real muscle movement and anatomy that's too good for a 1960s costume. Others say it's a hoax. The lighting's off, proportions don't match, and one guy even claimed he wore the suit. But here's the thing. It's never been fully debunked, and it's never been confirmed either. It just sits there. The closest thing we have to a smoking gun, but still not proof. So, does that footage make Bigfoot more believable? Or does the endless debate just make him an eternal mystery? However you look at it, belief, skepticism, or somewhere in the middle, Bigfoot remains one of the strangest, most fascinating mysteries in modern culture. There's no solid proof yet, but there's something about the story, the footprints, the films, the idea that maybe, just maybe, something's still out there. So, is Bigfoot a disturbing fact or a delightful mystery? You decide. Next time, we're trading forests for the sea. We're heading to a lonely lighthouse off the coast of Scotland, Flannan Lighthouse. In December 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers vanished without a trace. No signs of struggle, no explanation. Just gone. Was it a storm? Something supernatural? Or something darker? We'll dive into the real investigation and the haunting theories next episode. Until then, keep your eyes open and your imagination alive.
Thanks for watching.
Historical facts, disturbing or delightful, you decide.
If you enjoyed this, please tap like and hit subscribe. Catch the next episode, It's Even Stranger, and ring the bell to stay notified.